back, finally.
Oh, it's so good to be back, to do a hackathon together. So many amazing things are usually coming out of all of these hackathons. So I'm super excited to see what's coming out of this one.
And we've been here before, and many of you might have been there too, because this is the second edition of this climate hackathon. Had one last year, but 2 years ago, didn't you and I get involved in some, didn't we?
Yes, we did the EU versus virus. I think 60,000 participants all
Globally,
over the world.
the largest hackathon that ever happened.
Yes.
It was incredible.
Yes.
What an experience, right?
It was an amazing experience. And some of the businesses are still alive, actually, and they're global. They're doing business in Norway.
Which is what the most exciting thing about you joining here today and for the next 48 hours, because you are going to have a chance to build solutions that can help us find a sustainable future, right? So this is about finding a sustainable future using technology, using our minds, our hearts, and hopefully some friends we'll make during these events. Now, today, and the next 48 hours, what's happening?
Yes, there are 3 challenges. So find your team and start hacking. And the deadline is 9 a.m. at Thursday. And
Well, it
then
could be
there's
9 p.m. for someone.
Yes, it could be. That's true.
Wherever
That's
you are
true.
in the world.
That's true. And then there is an award ceremony at 3 p.m. here in Norway.
And there's some things to remember about this as well, because the next 48 hours, and specifically today, the next hour of which is about to teach you and talk through some of the submission criteria. We're going to hear from some of the speakers, some of the judges, and hear about the prizes, because we have an array of the who's who in Microsoft, which is the main partner of this today, organized by Macsimum. Now, I want to say a few things. So, you can submit by an individual self. If you want to do one earlier, you can run off right now.
All right.
After this, because actually you can still sign up during this hour-long introduction to the event, because we want as many of you to have a chance to create an awesome solution that can help us hack this climate crisis or find a sustainable way for us to do business going forward. But you can also be a team of 5.
Yes.
Do you have 4 people to join?
Yes, I think.
You think? Oh,
Yes.
there's enough people around the cameras
Yes.
here to do that. But actually, I want to have some fun for a second, Lydia.
Okay.
Let's do this. I want all of you watching online right now, whether you're watching on YouTube or whichever platform, to let us know if you raise your hand if you are an individual and you want to join a team. We also have the Microsoft Teams, which will be the official communication channel going forward. But why not have some fun right now and write on the comments, tag your flag.
Tag your flag. Do it. We're so
just
excited to see where you're from.
Tag your flag. Post an emoji of your flag so we can get an idea of who's watching this, where you are. We'll do ours from Norway just after this. I'm going to watch the channel now to see if you have any questions. We'll try to get those into the program throughout the day. There'll be 20 coaches to support you throughout this hackathon. That's in the Ask for a Coach channel in Teams. You'll find it after this. Go and have a chat with some of those coaches because they're there to support you throughout the program. And let's have some fun. So,
Yes.
hashtag Climate Hackathon. I'm going to take the first official photo of the hashtag Climate Hackathon. Are you ready? Live on stage. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hey! All right, I'm going to post that. That'll be the first photo in the channel. We have some special guests here today.
We have some of the wizards behind all of this, the hackathon. So let's say welcome to Chao Pong and Maxime.
Give it up for Chao Pong, Maxime. What's up, my man? Dancing in, gentlemen.
Hi,
Excited.
welcome. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you are involved in this hackathon?
Yeah, absolutely. Super excited to be here. My name is Maxim Salnikov. I lead developer relations in Microsoft Norway, and I'm part of core team for this amazing climate hackathon.
Yeah, my name is Xiaopeng. I'm part of Microsoft Western Europe, and I lead AI business across this region. And as Maxim mentioned, it's a team effort. So we have, many colleagues, from different countries, from marketing, from business group working together to pull this effort together. So I'm so incredibly excited to see this really happening, and we're kicking off this effort.
And this is the second time you've done this.
Yes.
Why are Microsoft getting involved in hackathons? What's that all about?
Yeah, maybe I can share a few thoughts to start with. So I think on one hand, we are incredibly committed to sustainability. We have a very comprehensive sustainability strategy which tackles, carbon, water waste, and energy consumption. My colleague Aidan actually will give a keynote later, and he will touch upon some of the aspects. But on the other hand, we are also a company that enables our customers and partners to build solutions for a sustainable future, enabled by technology. So we are an enabler for that as well. That's why we want to, have this hackathon to have everyone, taking actions together to build solutions for a sustainable future.
Yeah, there are many developers joining this hackathon. Why don't you tell us a little bit about like how can they build applications that are also sustainable?
Yeah, absolutely. And as developers, we often tend to think that, okay, sustainability, this is something on the level of business decision making, so we are not in the loop, which is not true at all. So we as developers, or in more general words, as technical people, can contribute to sustainability by just day-to-day decisions we make for building our software. To emphasize this message, Microsoft and a few more global organizations organized an initiative called Green Software Foundation. This is actually a gathering of people, standards, developers love standards, tools, developers love tools, and best practices, how to build your software in a sustainable way and to contribute to sustainability. As a part of this initiative, Microsoft created a learning curriculum called Principles of Software of Sustainable Software Engineering. This is actually emerging area, combination of climate science, software engineering, and many more things with very practical to-dos, best practices, and learnings how to build your software in a sustainable way. And I'm super happy to say that in the special Cloud Skills Challenge we organized as prerequisite for this hackathon, more than 40 people participated, and this principles of sustainable software engineering was part of this curriculum, and 8 people completed this course completely, and we'll raffle some cool prizes at awards ceremony. Yeah, this is how we as developers can contribute every day to sustainability.
Thanks. Maxim, so I was actually curious. I'm going to go off script here, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw you in the deep end. Yeah? I'm doing this for all of you at home. No, I'm only kidding. But a hackathon, I mean, many of you might be tuning in right now, and you're thinking, what is a hackathon? I mean, I was speaking to someone yesterday, and they were like, sorry, Matt, but what's a hackathon? I was trying to get them to sign up, and I hope they're watching. Hey, Jacob. But how would we define a hackathon, right? It's a 48-hour design sprint, but what does that mean?
Yeah, so maybe I can just, quickly give my take. So I think for me, a hackathon can mean a lot of different things, but particularly for this one, we want people of different backgrounds. If you are a developer, product manager, designer, or anyone with technical expertise or domain knowledge to contribute, come together. Let's rally our efforts together to take actions. So that's the key part. And then, of course, we would love to see, either solutions or prototypes, out of this hackathon. And hopefully some of them may actually evolve into, business idea or startups, as you mentioned from your previous experience. So that's my take. Maxim, do you have...
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, so first of all, there are no two similar hackathons in the universe. So this format is very free flow. And for this particular climate hackathon, we really want to have our participants to build both concepts and applications themselves. And if you check these 3 challenges we offer for you folks to solve, they are very different. Some of them contain very specific, concrete data. Some of them more on conceptual level. Still, you can build cool idea on top of what we have for every of 3 challenges, and you can build some prototypes, proof of concepts, or maybe ready-to-go applications. So there is some possibility to join literally for everyone, even for non-very technical people. Maybe you can be part of a team, collaborate with developers, you bring ideas, developers bring code. Bam, magic happens.
So Maxim, what you're saying is we're probably a great team because you're technical.
I'm not that
You're
technical.
not that technical, but you're very technical. You're creative, and I don't know, I've got a loud voice. So maybe we'd be a great team. Thank you so much, Maxim.
Folks,
Thank you so much.
now you see that you have now a very strong competing team with you.
Yeah,
so,
we should just run off right now. Maybe we will. And there's a good point I'd like to mention. If you're not convinced yet, we've got about 45 minutes of convincing you to join the hackathon, and you can still sign up on DevPost at the Climate Hackathon 2022. So go and think about signing up.
Yeah, but one of the most important thing also about this hackathon is the partners, the judges, and everyone who is involved. Let's have a look at who's involved in this.
So we've got 3 challenges we
Yes.
mentioned, right? So the 3 judges and the challenge owners, we have Aiko, from D&B.
Joe Evstos from Hub Ocean.
And of course, Jose. We're going to hear from them in just a minute. And when we hear from them, they're going to talk about what those challenges are, right? Because we're not going to solve any problem and every problem. We're going to try and be focused. Whilst a hackathon is some organized chaos, the only part of organization is we've set you up for success. And we have some other partners to help make that happen. We have some judges as well who will be judging the criteria. Aiden, of course, from Microsoft.
And Louis from Microsoft. And
you see if I can do this one.
Paraskevi.
I think I nailed that, actually.
Yes, you did.
You nailed it.
And Rita.
Rita as well. So we'll be hearing from them throughout this day and also in 2 days' time, because remember, when's the submission time?
9 a.m. on Thursday.
That's right. 9 a.m. on
Central European time.
Central European summer time. So wherever you're in the world, again, tag your flag. We'll know which time zone you're in. And good luck working with everyone. Again, the communication channel is, of course, Microsoft Teams. Now, we also have some exclusive sponsor, of course, for this, who I can guess you can guess who that is, right? I'm surprised we don't have a tattoo. I can go M. But we also have a technical partner, which is NVIDIA, of course, who are supporting us with this. The accelerator partners, which are helping us to engage the startup community, and of course the community partners who are helping us to engage the broader tech community on this hackathon. So thank you all for being part of this. We're very fortunate. And thank you, Maxim. Thank you, Xiaopeng. Feel free to dance off to the rafters again if you like. Just we can judge their dancing as we go forward.
No, maybe before I dance off the stage, just one thing. I think, you touched upon the importance of involving partners.
Yes.
So I think for us, it's really about, activating the whole ecosystem. Because, tackling the climate crisis, it's a team sport. It takes a village. Actually, it takes a planet to work together.
Yeah.
Right? That's why it's incredibly important for us, as Microsoft to involve, representatives from the startup community, from our partner ecosystem, and from really, all parts of the ecosystem to really work together. And that's incredibly important.
Yeah.
For
Collaboration is key.
Absolutely.
When it comes to this. Thank you for making that.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Yes.
Xiaopeng.
We will
Thanks,
dance
Maxim.
off.
Thanks, Microsoft.
Yes, over to our first speaker.
I think we're going to jump over to our first speaker in just a moment. So this gentleman is also one of the judges and jury as well, a Microsoft long-standing employee, business owner within that, Aiden Gensler, Director of Data AI, and a sustainability champ. But I like titles, but you know what's more interesting? This gentleman, he's grown up across 3 continents, speaks 3 languages, holds 3 passports, so he could be James Bond, to be honest. But he is also a saxophonist. Aiden, how are you, mate?
Hey, how are you, Georgie? Hi, great to be here. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine, yeah. So, Aiden, we're going to jump into this topic now. We're talking about sustainability. We're talking about why sustainability and why now, mate?
Yes.
Right. It's a really broad topic. And I just want to, before I jump in, I want to take the opportunity and thank you all for organizing this great event. And also my colleagues, Maxim and Xiaopeng, to really put a lot of effort in this, make it happen, really. I really appreciate it. And it's a humbling experience to be part of the whole experience with that, really. So to address your question, Georgie, I think it's a very broad topic, right? I have some slides that I'd like to share while I'm talking and giving you my take on it. There are 3 aspects or categories of why sustainability now. The first one is obviously a broader topic of, the global challenge that we are all facing, right? The United Nations made it very clear by their ESG initiative, from environmental, societal, and the governance of the sustainability efforts and actions we need to take. Because you know what? We are really facing big challenges regarding the global climate, raise of the temperatures, the water, oceans, because they are all absorbing emissions, carbon emissions, greenhouse gas emissions. So it's quite crucial that we have to control those factors in, and really slowing down on certain consumptions like coal, and growing more electricity-based, less fossil-based energy sources moving forward, really. So the UN, I'm sure you might have been following in Paris, November, COP26 event took place. And some of the challenges we addressed during that event through UN, through this event was really, it's a cross-governmental, intergovernmental effort that we need to look at it. So it's a very broad topic, really. And it goes from, what is the global impact? What is the water and natural resources and ecosystem impact? And what does it mean by net zero? There are topics that we discussed, but just in a nutshell, I wanna give you some summary of like what has happened at COP26. So as a result, we really need to adapt to protect communities and natural habitats. So that's really number one top priority. And also that requires we need to work together to enable and encourage countries affected by climate change, really. So, we really need to protect and restore the ecosystems, the defenses, the warming systems, the agriculture, the infrastructure. It's all like connected. And we need to really measure where we are, first of all, in the carbon emissions, and then take some actions. And some of the actions may be, accelerating the phase out of coal usage, deforestation, because, all the forests, Georgie, they are absorbing the emissions, the carbon in a good way from the atmosphere. That's the overflow that we need to manage. And then also companies are putting some investment in terms of removal of the carbon in the atmosphere. So that's kind of very much related to each other. We want to speed up the switch and to electric vehicles. The diesel usage, the gas usage on the roads, it's a lot of carbon emissions. So we need to manage that. We also need to invest in the renewables. So there are a number of things. It's a very broad topic again, but in a nutshell, UN is putting some efforts. There's a lot of country-based, but also globally, the efforts across all governments. Really, it's a teamwork, as previously Xiaopeng said. That's the first thing. The second thing is the regulations. Obviously, as a result of these measures we need to take, there are sometimes we have to work with the regulations. For example, EU, where we all live in, we have the carbon border tax, right? We are introducing. So that means we are going to limit the usage of carbon intensive materials such as steel, aluminum, cement, fertilizers, and electricity. So this is going to kind of discourage the use of these high intensive carbon emissions products. The second thing here is that what we are looking at is that as I said, ESG disclosure framework is really indicating that the US Securities and Exchange Commission has indicated the climate change disclosure will be top agenda for moving forward in the ESG. So this is a quite kind of important step as well in terms of regulations, because with that, and then what we have released is the Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive, CSRD, that is moving to the third stuff there, is that makes more than 55,000 companies in Europe that they are required to report their carbon emissions. So, the companies, including Microsoft, of course, the Shell, Repsol, ABB, all the big names, BP, they are required to report their carbon emissions annually. And that will tell us two things, right? Where they are and what's their, the pledges are, what they are planning by 2025, by 2030. So the goal is really by 2050 to reach the net zero level. What does it mean, net zero? Net zero means that you are going to produce or cause carbon emissions. That's a bad thing, right? And then you are going to equally remove carbon emissions from the atmosphere. So that is a balance that we need to strike. And companies are required, it's a kind of mandatory now, by certain dates. And I know Shell, for example, in the Netherlands, they are asked to reduce their carbon emissions by 45% moving forward by 2030. So they've got 8 years to achieve that goal.
That's quite a challenge. And, you know, for a non-native in this space, I mean, like you said, it's such an umbrella term, sustainability, right? So it's seeing businesses focus on their verticals. So in your case, Microsoft, what is your pledge and what are you doing in that space to focus on a sustainable future?
Absolutely. Well, just to give you an idea, as Xiaopeng also mentioned, as a company, we annually deliver sustainability report. So the last report we delivered was about 2021, and that gives you all the details of Microsoft as a company and how much carbon emissions we cause to the world, basically. But we measure it, and our pledges goes like, we want to be carbon negative. That means we are going to remove more carbon than we produce by 2030. So we are measuring this. Very detailed report is available, by the way. The 2021 report is available. You can,
Where can we find that,
it on the
Aiden?
internet.
Where can we
Sorry?
find that? Where can we find that
it's
report?
available. It's a public report. You search Microsoft Sustainability Report 2021, and you will be able to find it.
Cool,
It's a publicly available document, basically. Because that really gives you scope 1, 2, and 3. Scope 1 is really easy stuff, like how much electricity we use, you know, how much transportation the gas is you're causing for the carbon, you know, emissions. So that's easy to measure. What is more complicated is when you go to scope 2 and scope 3, because then in scope 3, for example, you have to make sure that your vendors, your partners, providing you electricity, providing you devices, providing you materials, they are also carbon negative or carbon net zero. So that part, when you try to look at the whole ecosystem, that gets complicated. But in that report, you are going to see all the details of the emissions that we cause and our goal to become carbon negative. But also waste. Waste is unbelievable. I mean, the waste that we cause, I mean, everybody individually, homeowners, organizations, the governments, etc. We have a huge problem with the waste. And as a company, we want to be zero waste by 2030. Zero waste means that we are not gonna be putting more waste than we remove again. Water is a great, I mean, component in the overall equation, right? I was reading that every day, 40 billions of liters of water is being leaked and lost due to the leakages in the pipelines. You know, the pipes, the leakages are like kind of a, you know, given fact. But the leakage causes, you know, is 40 billion liters. It's a huge amount of water where, you know, some continents like Africa, they cannot find clean waters for their homeowners, for home usage. So it's a great deal as well. And then we want to be water positive. We want to provide more water, clean water to the environment than we consume. We make, you know, create the dirty water, obviously. But, you know, that part is 4 components. And in the right-hand side of this slide, you see also device-related and data center-related. Obviously, we are the leading cloud platform, cloud vendor in the world. That requires we have to manage our data centers. But data centers require a lot of energy. So that energy, we want to make sure that it's from the wind, the sun, meaning green energy, renewable energy will be powering up our data centers. Also, the devices cause a lot of carbon emissions, like Surface devices that we sell, Xbox. You know, they are also included in the report, how much carbon emissions they cause. And all the supply chain, if you think about it, you know, manufacturing, but also distribution of these devices and equipments and Xboxes and Surface devices, it's a huge business, huge impact. We want to really control every step of that production and distribution and supply chain ecosystem to reach our goals, really, by moving forward by 2030.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about Microsoft customers and partners and what they are doing about all of this?
It's really amazing. Like I've been the sustainability champion since September last year, and within less than 1 year, I've learned so much about it, and it's an amazing experience. And I'm very passionate about sustainability. Besides my main role at Microsoft, so the customers and partners are really ahead of us sometimes. You know, look at their solutions, their in-house developed software, their developers, their whole ecosystem of partners and, you know, IT departments. They are really care about sustainability. So what we've been doing, I've searched all our customer references in publicly available, you know, as of today, since we created the first one. And we are seeing more and more sustainability related customer references as a public story. So we have been working with these customers and partners to really consolidate all these solutions and success stories, how they are impacting and helping achieve overall goals of UN or company goals, if there is one. And that is amazing. You know, we were able to collect more than 50 customer stories already available, and every day we are adding more. So we created a report. It's called Sustainable Futures. And with that link, or if you search Sustainable Futures by Microsoft, you are going to see a collection of amazing customers doing amazing stuff, fascinating stuff, helping sustainability goals. Really, it goes from commercial to manufacturing to, you know, supply chain or retail or automotive, etc. It's an amazing experience to read these customer stories, really. And some of the highlights I have included here is, you know, from energy suppliers. Of course, the big time, they have this top priority to switch from old traditional fossil-based, coal-based systems to more renewable energy. And you see Eneco, for example, one of our partners and customers in the Netherlands, they are already doing a great job in terms of switching to renewable energy. Because at the end of the day, it's a requirement, by the way. You know, the UN, as I said, it's a regulation, but also it's a UN regulation. So if we keep the 1.5 degrees centigrade warming up of the oceans, that's still gonna be a bad thing to do. But if it is 2 and more than 2 degrees, then we are gonna really lose a lot of stuff in terms of sustainability. There are other energy companies like Vattenfall, Expo. They are using technology to measure as well as monitor the optimization of their equipment. For example, in Vattenfall case, they are managing the wind turbines. They produce energy. So one spin of the turbine is producing electricity that is enough for one village, 100 homes in a village. So it's an amazing fact that how much we can do using the natural resources, really. But technology is enabling here. Technology like artificial intelligence, they are optimizing the wind turbines' effectiveness by looking at the wind situation real time and adapting the winds, the turbines angle according to the wind, changing every second, obviously. So they are optimizing that. They are using technology to optimize that and really reaching great results. And they have their pledges as well as a company. They want to, for example, in Vattenfall case, they want to reach the goal of using 100% renewable energy supply by 2025. So it's great to see that is happening. But it's not only energy, it's not only manufacturing, but also financial sectors. And whether it's investments or looking at, for example, the building, cost, building and electricity energy cost. If you start measuring your energy cost in a building, over 3 years' time, you will be able to save 25% of your energy by implementing AI and IoT-based solutions. One of the partners, Iconics, was helping Intesa Sanpaolo, one of the banks in Italy, to really reduce their carbon footprint in their operations. So the examples are going on and on. AI, usage of AI, IoT data as at the core, really, really impressive. So the stories are impressive, so I want to go quickly, but tell you more about the partner ecosystem. I think Xiaopeng said that, we cannot achieve this as one company, Microsoft. We have to have work together with our partners, with the startups, with the small development teams. They are driving great sustainability solutions already, building software, right? One of the examples I want to touch base upon is Climate View. Climate View has been a small startup. Like maybe they have been attending a climate hackathon 5 years ago, and they produced this software as a service application that is available today. And they became Microsoft partner as a result. And we are really positioning their solution in terms of measuring the cities, making cities more greener, and sustainability goals in every city like Zurich, Oslo, Copenhagen, Amsterdam. Climate View has a solution to address all the city-related urban KPIs and carbon emissions measuring and improvements. So their system is Azure-based SaaS solution, really combining the powerful modeling and visualization of these KPIs that are required for the sustainability solution. So Climate View is a great example that I wanted to highlight, but there are tons of other partners building, as we speak, sustainability solutions today.
Aidan, thank you so much. Aidan Gensler, the sustainability champ, as he's called at Microsoft. Join me in giving him a round of applause. We love it.
Yeah.
I love trying to get people watching at home. Hello, lovely you. So to clap with us, because cheering and things like that is something to get the energy across. We want to do that for everyone. So I want to make a point though, because as Aidan said, that Climate View startup that is now several years into its startup journey came out of a hackathon. And
that's amazing.
You today could join a team or go as a solo founder, creator, and build something that can actually have an impact. And I think one thing I always say, Udia, to friends of mine, anywhere in the world, who say, Matt, how do I get into the startup game? Or how do I pursue my interest in entrepreneurship or just ideating something? I always say,
Hackathons.
Join a hackathon. Honestly, because it's not just the 48 hours and whether you work for 48 hours or just, 8 hours on 2 days, or however you do it, you're going to meet interesting people.
Mm-hmm. So make sure to connect with everyone who's involved as well, like LinkedIn them.
LinkedIn them, add them everywhere. On the Microsoft Teams comms channels, we'll have plenty of intros that will happen. Make sure you connect to the 20 mentors and partners as well, because they are 20 mentors. They are experts in the field. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, you might find the right co-founder complementary team to create a business of your own, like Clearview, a Climate View, and who knows?
In 5 years, you're global.
You're global, Microsoft's your partner, you've got all the right partners. But, of course, what solutions should you be creating? Now, there are some challenges that are going to be set. So, Udia, what is the first challenge?
The first challenge will be presented to us by a guy who is very passionate about the ocean and how to use technology to ignite change. So there's no better person to present this first challenge. His name is Ju Efstos. He is head of platform at Hub Ocean. Welcome.
Hey, Ju. How are you?
Hi.
Hello. I'm fine. Thank you.
Welcome. Go ahead, present to us the first challenge.
Okay, I guess you can hear me loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Love your background. It's beautiful. That's one thing I love about these events is we get to see what everyone's background looks like. And I think it looks like you have a very nice office there, mate.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm happy to take you through the very short version of the challenges we have provided for Hub Ocean. So Hub Ocean is a non-profit foundation based out of Norway. It's founded by the Aker industrial companies in Norway and together with the World Economic Forum. So the theme for our hackathon data and the challenges is around maritime transport, shipping. And as some of you might know, maritime transport contributes to approximately 2.5% of the world global CO2 emissions. Most of this goes into the atmosphere, but the ocean is also used as what we call a carbon sink. So a lot of it goes down into the ocean as well and causes acidification, ocean warming, and other things like that. But still, we can't really stop maritime transport. It's a very, very efficient way of transporting goods across continents, countries, and so on. So the ocean is also a very important part of the solution to climate change. And decarbonization of industries and sectors is very important in the as we speak and in the coming decades. And we will look specifically into maritime transport sector. So the type of data we have made available for you in this hackathon is really exciting data. It's big data. We have something called gridded vessel emissions, and that is something we are splitting up the ocean into small tiles down to 500 meters, and then we are feeding position tracks of ships and what we call vessel particulars, so knowledge about ship dimensions, type of fuel, type of propulsion systems, and so on. And then we are able to estimate vessel emissions on a global scale or on a very local scale. In addition to that, we have something called voyage tables, so we can filter and play around with up to 150,000 vessels and see where are they going from A to B, and a lot of details around that. And also we have something called hourly emission estimates according to a well-recognized methodology. This is a really, really big data set. It consists only from 2020 until now is about 1.5 billion rows of hourly emissions from various vessels. And this you can combine with data sets like the Ocean Biodiversity Information System, where you have observations of different species and marine mammals and so on. More than 100 million observations over the past decades, as well as marine regions telling you the shape files of where do you have the protected areas, the economic zones, and so on and so on. So this is the data that is provided. And what could you potentially build or learn by looking into this data? Well, first of all, you can look into traffic patterns and emission trending on global or local scale. So the industry is nowadays talking a lot about concepts like green corridors and also blue corridors. The green corridors are where you foresee that you will find a good business case to invest in alternative fuel, infrastructure, and so on. So this example is one of the major container routes, or you could look into local examples like the UNESCO World Heritage Sites and protected fjords in Norway and so on. In addition, we hope that some of you can look into hotspots and conflicts between maritime transport and marine mammals. Unfortunately, there are thousands of marine mammals being hit by ships yearly, and we basically know where these mammals are, and there are possible solutions to this as well. One key thing here is the blue corridors. In addition, there is somewhat a revolution going on now with alternative fuels like hydrogen, ammonia, and LNG. And we also hope that you can look a bit into text mining or natural language processing to identify the ports that are ready for these new green fuels, and also help us to enrich some of the world port databases with this type of information. In addition, out of the voyage tables we provide, you can theoretically identify a lot of routes or patterns that are particularly interesting for ferries, like going from A to B to A to B, back and forth. And these are candidates for electrification and so on. And here are some examples in Norway, which is already electrified, and other examples in Seattle to the Bainbridge Island that are not electrified at the moment, I think. So also to look into the opportunity space when it comes to lowering the emissions on these ferry routes. Finally, we also hope that you can look into data storytelling and positive impact stories. There are so many amazing things going on in the industry now with a lot of innovation, both for totally new ship designs and retrofits. So also to bring this opportunity to you and me, where you look at the ship and you want to learn something more about that ship, and hopefully get inspiration and maybe drive your decisions in the right way as well. So with that, I wish you good luck with the hackathon and hope that you can do a lot of exciting things with the data that we provide.
Joaf Saas, head of platform at Hub Ocean. Thank you so much. You know, watching all of this, it gives me so much hope. I'm just left here feeling hope. There's hope. Thanks for presenting the first challenge, Joe.
So, did that challenge tickle your fancy? Is that the challenge you want to accept? Well, if it is, then go for it. We have 2 more challenges, which I'm going to go through in just a second. But how cool is that? They're going to provide these data sets to all of you that you can take and work with. There was multiple challenges within that, both whether it's shipping data, animal migration data. Interesting. I never thought of anything like that. Thank you, Yor. So, challenge number 2. I'm curious, actually. If you think challenge number 1 is the one you want to solve, let us know right now. I want to see the comments pop up. But first.
Ready for number 2?
Number 2. Jose Yanez from Inditex. Jose?
Welcome.
Welcome.
Hi,
let us know the
everyone.
challenge.
Hi, good to see you.
Oh, I love your background.
Again. To be here today. We are very excited about it. My name is Jose Yanez. I'm part of the Inditex Sustainability Department as a climate and energy lead. For those of you who don't know, Inditex is one of the biggest fashion groups in the world. It's a parent company of Zara and other 6 brands. And we currently operate in more than 215 markets for our online operations and through more than 6,000 stores in approximately 95 different markets. We operate as a single company globally, and we focus on the key elements of the fashion production, which is the design, the manufacturing, the distribution, and the retailing, while we focus on 3 different pillars, which are flexibility, digital integration, and sustainability. Is this last concept what brings us here? And what we want you to help us on is finding a new and better way to obtain information from our suppliers, specifically for the water and energy consumption. So the vast majority of the usage comes from the manufacturing tiers and the extraction of raw materials, the spinning, the weaving, the wet processes, and the final assembly of our product. So what we are trying to do here is for you to help us find a new way and better way to obtain all this information from manufacturers and suppliers. And what this solution could look like, well, we've had some ideas internally, and we thought about a collaborative platform, maybe through any kind of way that allows us to rely on the information, like it could be blockchain, for example. We've also thought about complementing all that with maybe some kind of algorithm that with simple parameters help us to predict better which are going to be the consumptions in terms of energy or water. We've also thought about OZR allowing us to gather information from the invoicing, for example, or some other sources from our manufacturers, and maybe why not kind of IoT devices or any other solutions in terms of hardware. But we really want you to give us a new perspective and help us to find a new way, thinking a little bit outside of the box, given your knowledge, your experience in terms of technology and data gathering. So we are very open to see what you can bring us. We're super excited about it. So we really hope that you enjoy the challenge, enjoy the process, and it could help us to find a solution that can help us to reach our goals and to our targets. So that's it from our side. Thank you very much, and happy building. Back to you in Oslo.
Tusen tack, Jose, climate energy lead at Inditex. Interesting challenge, number 2. Maybe put a number 2 down on the keyboard in the comments. I'm trying to get the comments going.
Yes, do that.
If that's the challenge you want to take, or maybe you want to solve 1 and 2. Remember, you only have 48 hours to do it, so that might be a bit of a challenge.
You can find a co-partner in the comments, I think.
Yeah,
that's a good way to find
that would be a cool one. If you're, actually, let's do that right now. If you're still looking for a business developer or a coder of some kind, back end, front end, write it in the comments of the live stream. And again, obviously, after this, head over to Microsoft Teams. There'll be channels created for communication. Lydia, third challenge.
Third challenge, the one who's going to present it is leading the sustainability change within DMB. Her name is Aiko Yamashita. Hope I said it correctly. She is the leader of ESG Data Task Force at DMB. Welcome.
Hey, Aiko.
Hi, my name is Aiko. I'm a principal data scientist at DMB. To decarbonize our society, we need to improve the energy efficiency of buildings and households, which constitute actually 40% of the global greenhouse gas emissions. DMB's challenge is about how to calculate the energy consumption and emissions for Norwegian real estate properties by using different open data sources such as geographical data, climate data, energy mix, type of building, square meters, and many others. Furthermore, an additional plus for the challenge will be to try to sort or prioritize those properties and areas that represent the biggest potential in terms of energy optimization by adjusting or optimizing for different attributes in the buildings, such as introducing boilers, solar panels, insulation, and others. Happy building.
Thank you so much, Aiko. Okay, Matt, I know you have some insights on submission criteria and the next steps.
So, submission criteria, as you can see, you have to be over 18 to partake in the program. Teams of anything from 1 to 5. So, find a partner or don't. Do it as an individual. However, I can always say that, as they say, going alone is a lot harder than going together. So join some people, find someone to collaborate with.
In the comments, maybe.
In the comments as well, maybe in the Teams channels later. Of course, dev posts. You can't post a project if you're from Brazil, Crimea, Cuba, Iran, North Korea, Quebec, Russia, or Syria. That's a dev post thing, not a Microsoft thing. Request access to communicate to the channels by sending an email to ce@maximum.no, maximum without the X. I've definitely got that one wrong before. Maximum with a C. Submit your project. The deadline is 9 a.m. Central European Summertime on the 9th of June. That is in just around 48 hours time, 2 days time. But also, I want to say a few other things. As part of that submission criteria, you need to submit what? What do you need to submit? A video.
A video.
A video. You need to submit a video.
Yes.
So you need to submit a video, and the video needs to include a few things, right? So as you can see on the screen right now, what is the challenge? What is the solution? What is the vision for this? And your team and individual. Because remember, a team is everything when it comes to these kind of projects. Hence why, if you want to do it alone, go for it. I cheer for you. But it's always nicer to work with a group of complementary skill sets because you can support one another. If this becomes a business, you have co-founders with compatible skill sets, which is ultimately the answer to creating a business that is successful in the long run. Because anyone can be an idealist. You and I, we have lots of ideas.
Yes, we are, yes.
The difference between an idealist and an entrepreneur is action. So kudos for you for taking action today to solve real problems.
And spending your time with us.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to be talking to you throughout the next 48 hours and things like that. Lastly, if you want some support from the coaches as well, there's the Our Coaches channel, Ask a Coach. There are 20 coaches, as I've mentioned. So you have all the support you could ever need throughout this program. Also, last one, so much information. There is a general channel as well. And you are, of course, thanks to Microsoft, allowed to have free credits from the cloud platform Azure. So make sure you go and get all the freebies you can during the program. Yeah, I think that's just about the criteria so far. I'll reiterate at the end.
And then we have the judges, and they will be judging you on 4 criteria, which is impact, feasibility, and implementation, and originality. So make sure to have these in mind. How much impact do you have with this solution that you're coming up with, and is it original? And how much have you managed to get done throughout this hackathon? And is the solution realistic in terms of the technical and legal stuff?
And I feel like, having gone through several hackathons myself, with Udo actually, don't fall in love with the idea. Fall in love with the problem. That's the most important thing. Because if you fall in love with an idea, you're sort of like, no, but this is the way, and then you waste time fighting over which is the right idea.
Yeah, and all of a sudden you have a whole new job, maybe even.
Could be. You could develop out of this one. So of course, we're not here for nothing. I mean, whilst there are prizes involved, of course, we're not here for the prizes. The prize is creating a sustainable future. But of course, there are prizes. There are $1,500 for each winner. So for the Hub Ocean and Cognite Challenge 1, as you all said, for Inditex from Jose, $1,500 as well. And of course, from DNB as well, $1,500.
And it's a bonus to keep you going after.
And the challenge owners, of course, were Hub Ocean and Cognite, Inditex, and DNB. They're their logos up on the screen. Thank you. Again, this is it's a partnership, right, to get everyone together. And I think that's really sort of the main thing when you come to these kind of hackathons, because it is all about partnership. Hence why we insist and we encourage, actually, you to go and find a team, whether it's colleagues, completely random people, colleagues and random people, mix it up. The more diverse, the better, because the more diverse the outcome, the more diverse the input, the more diverse the outcome. That's the way it goes.
All right, we're wrapping up, I think. So remember now to submit your project no later than June 9th at 9 a.m. And then you need to present the solution with a video and also the team involved.
How do you think they should do the video? Let's help you all out. So maybe
be passionate. It's all about being passionate, I think. Also.
Well, we're professional hosts, right? So maybe we can help you to stand out in your videos. Don't just talk or read a script. You can read a script, but what's the best advice I would give to anyone presenting is talk through a smile.
Yes.
You have no idea how powerful talking through a smile is, because I'm looking at all of you through this camera right now. We're in a studio. We have a few crew around us. We would love to have all of you in front of us. But we don't. So how can we convey that energy forward? Using tonality, pausing for effect, is honestly the art to communicating competently and confidently.
Yes.
And I know you might not be a presenter such as us, and that's fine. Own your style.
There is an award ceremony at 3 p.m. on Thursday, and between when you have submitted your project.
You love that word, subjected,
yes, I subjected. I don't know, how do I keep saying that? You will be. Now I forgot what I was supposed to say, but we will try to get in touch with you. That was what my point was, because we would like to have you on the award ceremony if you are one of the winners. So make sure to check your email before the award ceremony. Maybe you are the winner, and we would love to talk to you.
And make sure to check DevPost, because it will be announced as well just before 2. The submissions at 9 a.m. The judges and jury will have a few hours to go through everything. So make sure you stay in tune, because we will be announcing those winners, and the show at 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Central European Summertime. CEST.
Yes.
Love these acronyms. Tune in. It's going to be Uli and I again in this amazing studio. Happy hacking. Make sure to meet someone, greet someone, create something unique. Any advice for them?
Save the planet.
And save the planet. Hack for a sustainable future. Good luck, everyone. We'll speak to you in 2 days. Happy hacking.